Okay, we're in Palma in Mallorca and we're here talking yachts. So let's get to it. So this is Motor Yacht Fair Lady, and according to Boat International, it's for sale. It's a 36 metre. It was built in British yard Camper and Nicholson in 1928. She was delivered, and it was rebuilt in Pendennis in 1996. If you want to buy it, it's going for an absolute bargain. 6,250,000. I think that is a really good price. It's a steel hull, obviously, because it was built in the 20s. It's got a lot of history, obviously. That's a beauty. It kind of reminds me of Shimara. If you don't know Shimara, I'll post a link to a video of that I filmed last year in Bahamas. That was an absolute beauty. I really fell in love with that boat. And this is like a smaller version, it's a much smaller version, but this is like a smaller version of Shimara. Really nice. Okay, so anyway, so this is MY Coca Bean. Strange name for a boat. Coca Bean. Who do you think would own that? Maybe the CEO of Starbucks, maybe? But no, it's not. No idea why it's called Coca Bean. The owner is a guy called Ali Gandoor, probably butchered that name. He's an Indian guy. I think he's Indian, based in Miami. He's an importer of perfumes, wholesale importer of perfumes, and he owns this. It's a 74 metre yacht. It's about 240 feet. So this yacht is, like I said, 74 metre. It cost $90 million, but the owner's his net worth is about $6 billion. So 90 million, drop in the ocean. It holds 12 guests in 6 cabins, and it has a crew of 19 in 8 cabins. I just read that on the internet, so I didn't know that. That's the kind of stuff you don't really find out unless you actually go on board or it's a charter boat. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is, if you're thinking, oh, just think how much money, how much you could help the poor with this, with the money that you spent on this boat, which is a lot. I hear that a lot from people. A lot of the people that build these boats, they do that also. He's a philanthropist. He has a number of non-profit organisations which helps poor people. So yes, he has a nice boat and it costs a lot of money, but he also gives a lot of money to people who don't have any. So bear that in mind. Yeah, and this is a charter boat. So if you're interested, that's a very good rate, starting from $575,000 a week. Sound good? Okay, so behind me here is a big giant cocoon. I did a video on this a few months ago, but basically it's how they paint yachts, or they shoot. They're shooting inside, that's what they refer to it as. So they build this thing, they put air supply on it, which you can see the big fans sticking out up here, and that's to take out, so they can paint inside. They can completely seal off the inside of the boat, and then they can paint the fairing, the hull, basically the fairing, which is on top of the steel. That's what makes it look like it's very shiny and it looks like it's made out of plastic. So basically they do this, they build it with scaffolding, they cover it with this white tarpaulin, and then they paint the insides. So we're going to have a look, see what we can see of the actual yacht. That's basically it. That's basically all we can see. Its butt sticking out. The 78 metre yacht, and that's all we can see. How rich do you have to be able to abandon a boat like this? I know what you're thinking. If he's rich, why is it abandoned. Well, the way I look at it is this boat wouldn't be here very long if he wasn't paying the mooring fees every month. So it's just sitting here and looks like nobody's touched it for a long time. Look at the wood, look at the teak. That's shocking. There's a rib on deck. Inflatable boat. Deflated. Incredible. You could live on this thing. That's sailing yacht Absolair. It's 50 meters, 47 meters. Beauty. I don't know much about it, but it's beautiful. Mercedes SL500 Brabus. That's something you don't see every day. Nice. Okay, this is MY Stargate. I almost missed this one, snuck in on me. This is owned by one of the Saudi royal family, Sheikh bin Al Khalifa, I think his name is, and it's an 80-meter boat. One of the unusual things about this boat is it doesn't have any shell doors at the rear. Normally they have a tender garage, so the boats, you can't really see them from here, but maybe the aerial footage you see them. There's two boats up on the top deck which need to be craned down when they want to use them. Normally they have a door at the rear on the port side and the starboard side, and they just open them up and then lift the boats out. But because he's got the boats up on top, so most owners don't want that because it doesn't look so great. The way it says up this way is that it means that they've got all that interior area to use. So it all depends on the owner, I suppose. This is motor yacht Skyfall. I've already done a video about this, so I'll post a link to that. 57 meter, built in 2010 by Trinity Yachts. The owner He likes to name his boats after James Bond films, and I think his first one was called The World Is Not Enough, and that is a 42 metre yacht, and it's actually got a top speed of 69 knots, which is over 70 miles an hour or over 120 kilometers an hour. Anyway, this is a 57 metre Skyfall, and it's actually got a top speed of 21 knots, and he's into his speed because he used to race speedboats when he was younger. This boat is actually up for sale again this year, the second time this year. It was sold in February and it's now for sale again. The owner has a new boat coming out in supposedly May. Guess what that might be called? Yes, Spectre. Okay, so this unusual looking vessel, okay, this is an expedition vessel called Albula, A-L-B-U-L-A. I'm not familiar with this boat. I just saw it. It's a strange looking vessel, expedition vessel, because it has a range of 6,500 nautical miles. Also, the hull design is specifically for expedition, and also you can see it's very high for its size, very unusual shape. The stern is almost vertical. It's almost just drops straight down, which is unusual. Top speed of 16 knots, cruising speed of 14 knots. What I do love is, look at the fake bird on the bow. Whether you can see that. You get these fake birds, scares the real birds away. See that? It's actually on a pole, but in the wind it actually looks quite real. Yeah, I love that. Forward mast there. Unusual, yeah. Nice. I like the blue hull. I don't know what it is. It just makes it look more classic. Guess I just like older boats. I'm rapidly losing the light now. I think I'm going to have to wrap up this for the day. Before it'll just be me in the dark. So look at the stern section. Look how abrupt that is. That's very unusual. Okay, well I'm going to stop here because I'm rapidly losing the light. If I continue talking much longer, there's just going to be a black screen with a voice talking about random yachts. So I'm going to wind it up there. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it. If you haven't subscribed already, please sure to do so, and I'll catch you next time. All right. People that build these boats, they do that also. He's a philanthropist. Not easy to say. He's a philanthropist. He has a number of non-profit organisations which helps poor people.